Hello and welcome to the Gripe TV. I am your host, JP Forte. You know something? Barack Obama really is one race-baiting, arrogant bastard. It kills me just with how arrogant this person is. While we had an American citizen, a reporter, James Foley, being beheaded by a member of the terrorist group ISIS, Barack Obama basically only takes enough time off his vacation to make a dumb speech about the incident. Really no real action to take. And then shortly afterwards, he's back on that golf course, playing golf, big old smile on his face, just like everything's just fine and hunky-dory. Which shows the arrogance of this guy. We had an American citizen that was beheaded by a terrorist organization, and this pathetic excuse for a leader of our country is out playing around, gallivanting on a golf course. And then, of course, you know, his people in his administration, you know, his aides and stuff, talking about, well, he needs it to relieve all the stress and tension he's under. You know something? All presidents in this country have been under some form of stress or tension or some kind of crisis or another. But unlike this guy, they didn't go running off to the golf course to play golf or go party with celebrities or take a whole bunch of vacation time to supposedly relieve tension. They did their damn job. They didn't abuse taxpayer dollars to go play around. Unfreaking believable. And now ISIS has another American citizen, and they're demanding, like, I think $7 million for her release. And now she's going to be the next to be beheaded too. When is something going to be done about this? Quite frankly, you know what I say should be done to all these damn terrorists over there? All these terrorist groups? I know the perfect way to put these bastards in check. Let's do the same thing we did in World War II. Get a freaking atomic bomb and just drop it on their ass. Stop playing around with these people. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Now, I know that not all people of Arab descent are terrorists, okay? I know not all Muslims are terrorists. Just like I know that not all Christians are these great loving people who are all peaceful. Any religion can be used for violence. Any religion can be used to brainwash and subdue a mass group of people. This is one reason why I myself don't follow religion. Because of just how ridiculous people get. Especially when I take a look at these terrorist groups in the Middle East, or these radical Christians that try to force their views on people too. But anyway, back to the ISIS thing. This is disgusting. They are literally kidnapping American citizens, demanding ransom, and because they're not getting that ransom, they're beheading them, okay? But also at the same time, this incident shows the hypocrisy of Obama anyway. The Obama administration, big time hypocrites, because they're talking about they're not going to negotiate with these people, but yet they released 5 Gitmo prisoners, five terrorists that we had as prisoners in Gitmo, for to release 1 soldier. But now that we got these American citizens now being kidnapped and being beheaded by these nut jobs. And when is something going to be done about this? Is it going to take for them to do an all-out attack on our soil before this sissy in the White House does something about it? And I'm not saying go and trade and make deals with them. Hell no, you don't make deals with these people. I'm aware of that. But because they're taking and they're killing our citizens, our fellow American citizens, they're basically taking them and they're torturing them and beheading them. We need to retaliate. That's not something that you just let go. And quite frankly, I say you find where all these terrorists are located at, where everybody in this ISIS group is situated at, where their main headquarters is, and drop a freaking atom bomb on them. That's the way I see it. That'll basically end everything right there, I think. And anyway, another part of Obama's hypocrisy, and this is one of the things he does as far as his race baiting goes. He basically sent 3 aides to attend the funeral of Michael Brown, the man who was shot and killed by a police officer, which now new evidence is showing that he not only did a strong-arm robbery at a store, he also physically assaulted that police officer, who then shot him, because more than likely that police officer needed to defend his life and his well-being. He sends 3 aides to attend the funeral of basically somebody who more than likely was a thug, but yet he would not even attend or even send any aides to a general who was recently shot and killed in Afghanistan. You know, one of our military generals was killed. But where was Obama? Basically playing on the golf course. He didn't go and pay his respects to this military general that was killed in action. Instead, he's out playing on the golf course, having a gay old time. And to make matters worse, he didn't even send any aides to that guy's funeral. To that man's funeral, he did not send anybody to attend, to pay their respects. He didn't, I guarantee. I don't know if there's been a memorial for James Foley, but whether there was or there's going to be one or whatever, I guarantee he ain't going to send any aides to pay their respects to Foley either, let alone show his own butt up there. Nope, he's going to be that's what he's going to be doing. Literally, with everything this president has done, the way he's been running the country into the ground, taking away the things that we value as Americans, taking away our rights in the process, backing terrorist groups, refusing to do anything to stop terrorist groups. And yet, nothing gets done to this guy. This is probably one of the most criminal and corrupt presidents we've had in our history. But yet, you can't say anything against him because of political correctness. If you say anything against him or his policies, they automatically try to stamp the racist card on you. And then, another thing, nobody in our own government will do anything to bring any charges on this president either. It's basically, our government has literally turned into like a free-for-all. They're all, basically the way I see it, they're all a bunch of crooked criminals. I just wish there was a way that we could get our country back, the way that we could get our civil liberties back, and actually have a government go back to actually doing what they're supposed to, which is to be public servants. But then again, I'm trying to think, have they ever really been public servants? Either way, that is what they're supposed to do, is be public servants. And Barack Obama is supposed to lead this country. He's supposed to be the one to not only adhere to the will of the people, but he's also supposed to be the one to defend this country and prevent this country from falling apart. And literally from his actions, it's like he has literally been out to destroy this country and destroy us as a people and take away everything that we hold dear. And I think he pretty much has succeeded in ruining this country. He does not care about the people in this country. You know, if you remember, he was supposed to be the uniter as far as all the different racial groups. Now we're more racially divided than ever before since like the 1950s and 1960s. And he continues to stir up racial tensions along with his buddies Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, which make a living off of creating racial tensions and race baiting. You know, I'm one of those guys, I don't even pay attention to people's race. I don't give a damn what your race is. I only care about where you stand on something. I only care about whether or not I think you as an individual are a cool guy or an asshole. So I'm not in with this whole thing. But basically, with all this thing, with everything that Obama has done and is doing, he's ruining this country. He has got to be one of the most arrogant and criminal presidents in the history of this country. The country's falling apart. We got a bunch of psychos cutting off the heads of our citizens. We got basically military generals that have been killed in action. We got open borders, which, by the way, those terrorist groups basically can do intelligence work just like we have with our CIA, with spying and stuff. And I guarantee they can go in there and pretend to be something that they're not just so they can sneak across that border. That's another reason why we need the border security. But we got those open borders, so one of those psycho-terrorists can basically infiltrate and get in anytime they want because of this president refusing to close the borders. And while all this is happening, while basically our country is literally crumbling under everything that's been going on, where is our supposed great leader? On the golf course. Obama, you know what, I'm really beginning to think that Obama is going to be historically known as the man that destroyed America. And he probably already has succeeded, just as I look around, see the way things are. He is probably the worst president in our country's history. And that's saying a lot because, you know, we've had some other presidents before that were really bad. But Obama really takes the cake. He is the worst president ever.